after you had the interview with the women, why didn't you go on Alex's show just to clear that up for him?
Oh yeah, I mean that's very interesting what happened with that. So when she, got up and left abruptly, like I didn't edit anything about that video, so you guys saw it all the way up until I pressed off on that camera. And when I turned the camera off, obviously I did that not only for, the interview, but I did for my protection. Because I don't know what this broad might do or say. I just don't trust women. I'm sorry. Nowadays, I don't trust people in general because the guys don't really have too much integrity these days either. I mean, guys will lie on you. So on her way out of the building, she made it her business to stop and tell the front desk person that, hey, this guy's back there filming a podcast. So security came back there, right? And the security was cute as all hell, man. It was this girl. She was about 5'4", about 125 pounds, super cute in the face, beautiful hair. You know what I mean? I was like, well, shit, take me to jail. But anyway,
hold on a second. I want to give a shout out to Ayindei for noticing how the person who wants to kick him out looks before he gets kicked out. There is no off switch on this gentleman.
Hey, I read the same way too. He's scoping her out.
Oh, hey, but I was full on flirting with her. So, so she comes over to me and she, go ahead.
I was like,
what were you going to say, Scott?
Do you naturally try to flirt with her, or are you actually thinking like, hey, if I flirt with her a little bit, not only am I going to have an opportunity, but I also can de-escalate the situation too with the security
Well,
guard?
I look at it like this. Man. As one thing my grandfather taught me is that you got to be a charmer. When you're dealing with women, you got to be a charmer. It's one of the best ways to acknowledge their femininity. Okay? Because men and women aren't the same. I don't talk to women the same way I talk to men. I just don't. When I was young, I used to flirt with my mother's friends. Okay? I'm the guy that was nailing my mother's hairdresser. Okay? I was nailing my mother and my sister's hairdresser. Hey, she was cute. She was hot. What do you want me to do, right?
Stay away from my auntie. Stay away from my auntie.
No. It's not,
Don't be bringing your woman around Ayindei.
One thing I don't do is any of my boys, girls. I don't care if it's an ex or anything like that. I don't do family members. I don't care how hot your sister is or whatever. Yeah, I don't do that. I don't do the personal step on people's toes. But just genuinely, when interacting with women, even if it's not going anywhere, you just make their day. You know what I mean? You make their day. Yeah. Make them smile, make them blush, like that. So when she came over, she's like, she says to me, so you're filming a podcast? And I said, a what now? She said, you're filming a podcast. I said, what are you talking about? I said, why would you ask me if I'm doing a podcast? Who told you I'm doing a podcast? She says, oh, well, I see you, with the camera and the tripod and everything. I said, sweetie, people have cameras for taking pictures, taking videos. People have cameras all the time. What would make you assume that I was filming a podcast unless someone told you that? So I'm going to ask you again, where did you get the idea that I was doing a podcast? So she says to me, do you live in the building? I said, okay, now you're asking questions you know the answer to, because if I had lived in this building, you would have recognized me before and I would have recognized you. You know what I mean? So it's just part of my flirting. When I said that, I kind of like smiled and winked at her. Like I would have definitely noticed you prior, right? We would have spoke, basically, is what I was trying to say to her. We would have had a conversation before if I lived in this building. So she says to me, okay. She said, well, do you know anyone that lives in this building? I said, well, actually, I'm visiting someone in this building. And she says, yeah, well, you can't be doing a podcast down here. I said, sweetie, again, I don't know where this podcast shit came from, but I never confirmed that I was doing a podcast. She said, okay, well, you can't be recording anything in here. I said, okay, well, at this point, I'm already packing up, so I guess it's good to know, in the future. She said, so who are you visiting in the building? I said, well, I'm not going to give you that information. She said, well, why not? I said, after you just told me that I'm not allowed to do what I was doing, you expect me now to give up who I came to visit so that they can get in trouble? No, thank you. No, thank you. So she says, all right. I'm just doing my job. I said, and you're doing a very good job at that. You see what I mean?
So
the point was that I'm not going to incriminate myself, and I'm certainly not going to incriminate Alex. Okay, the last thing I need is for, the Nana going up to Alex, giving her time.
And he dropped off. All right, so Ayindei, just jump back on. But basically what he was saying was that, just to answer the Great Pill podcast question, what happened was that Ayindei would have went up, but if he would have went up, he would have jeopardized Alex. And a lot of these folks, look, we have to understand, a lot of folks running podcasts out of their buildings and things like that, they're not allowed to do so. And so if you're in an apartment, maybe it might be against the homeowners association. I know one of the things that I've discussed many times, I believe I discussed it with Self-Made at least once, is that Fresh and Fit, there's a whole lot of safety measures going on with all those people in there, and they could be closed down by the fire department depending on the codes in their area. I'm not sure. Florida codes. Looks like we have Ayindei back. All right, we got you back, sir.
Yeah, that's actually one thing that I've always been wondering about. I've always been wondering what is going on with Myron and the building administration. Something doesn't seem right. Something sounds fishy to me. It just doesn't make any sense. You gotta understand, you guys see, what's on one particular end of the camera. Even if they have kick-out cams and they're going live and everything like that, you gotta understand, I was there. I'm in the building.
Right.
And the things that I've seen at the Fresh and Fit show, it makes absolutely no sense to me how they could possibly still be in that building. Like, it baffles me.
I'm proud of that thumbnail, by
Myron, yeah, I got a kick out of that when I first saw it. I was like, this is hilarious. Yeah. Oh my God, it was hilarious.
That was before we knew you too, man. That was just
was before we knew him.
Oh my God, that was so hilarious. Man, it just
I like the vein on Myron's forehead.
Yeah, that's a real vein. I didn't add that in.
I thought Scott created that vein.
Nah, that was all him. Remember, that's when he was angry at Aber and Preach, and he was going off like, "We work harder than you.
We are better than you."
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So
I was nervous. I was like, "Oh, we're gonna get Rogan. Scott gonna drop the N-word. It's our first grade. It's over. You don't talk like that."